Touch gloves now, you're boxing the bell. God bless you both.
Yeah. The lineal light heavyweight champion putting that title on the line here in our main event. Corey Erdman and Steve Molitor on the call for you here tonight. Artur Beterbiev in the black trunks. Marcus Browne, the southpaw, the red, white, and blue.
Marcus Browne popping that jab early from the southpaw stance. He wants to let Beterbiev know that he's going to keep that jab up, try to keep that bag, and not let Beterbiev any sort of confidence keep applying pressure to him.
I think that the conceit with Beterbiev in the early rounds is that he might lose some of them, but that doesn't mean that he's losing control of the fight. Because we have seen Beterbiev give away rounds in the early going, but have a less than extraordinary punch output as he's just applying physical and mental pressure in the early going.
Exactly, Corey. He may lose the round on the scorecard, but he's winning it in the fight. He's breaking him down, he's walking his opponents down, applying pressure, landing body shots, landing head shots, landing arm shots. He's slowly breaking the opponent down like he wants to do.
I'm going. Listen to my break.
Marcus Browne has said that Derek James hasn't changed a whole lot when it comes to his approach, but I feel like they have tidied some things up. There's a good body shot from Browne a moment ago.
Well, going into the biggest fight of his life, I don't think he'd want to make too many changes, Corey. I think a few fun touches wouldn't help, wouldn't hurt, but I don't think he'd want to make too many changes, so hopefully that's the case here tonight from Marcus Browne.
Down the middle there from Marcus Browne. And one of the mistakes that Browne has made in the past, and he would admit it, and I'm sure everyone can see it, is that he likes to throw to the body, but sometimes when he pulls out, he pulls straight back. And those are the 3 times that Jean Pascal caught him, and it's the same shot that he's been caught with in previous fights as well. He's plugged with some rough stuff along the ropes.
And being a southpaw versus an orthodox, the last thing you want to do is pull back straight, and then line for the right hand. And that's what happened in his previous fight. And he does not want to do that against a big puncher like Beterbiev here tonight. But so far, he's slipped out of those hooks nicely, not staying straight in line in front of Beterbiev.
If you're Marcus Browne or a supporter of Marcus Browne, this is how you would like this fight to look.
Absolutely. Marcus Browne is boxing brutally from the outside, but it's still very, very early. We know Beterbiev is getting off some crazy fastballs and slower. It's just stock his opponent. Mark Ramsey we were talking about earlier, when Browne goes to the body, throw that left hook because he's usually right there. So they've clearly done their homework, as you'd assume for a unification world title fight.
This round begins our main event here. For another body shot, then rifling about 9 of them in the clinch. Browne has always been a good body puncher, and we often think of fighters who are described as capital B boxers, guys like Marcus Browne, that they must necessarily be counterpunchers, and I've always felt that Browne isn't necessarily a counterpuncher. I felt that when he's at his best, he's moving, but he's also dictating when the exchanges start. When Browne is at his best, I feel like he's getting off first.
Absolutely. Just because the guy's walking you forward doesn't mean they're being the more aggressive, because when somebody throws and misses and you hit him with a 3 or 4 piece, that's still aggression. Jab from Marcus Browne.
Not a lot of jabs from Beterbiev so far. Perhaps it's been nullified here, as is often the case with orthodox fighters against southpaws. Of course, not impossible to out-jab a southpaw, but Marcus Browne, pretty tricky guy to get your range of.
Tricky guy, fast feet, fast hands. drop by Marcus Browne if you out of that corner.
Looks under a right hand of Beterbiev, comes back with a left hand of his own. The quieter this fight is, the better it is for Marcus Browne.
Absolutely, especially the crowd that's going to be behind Beterbiev in his first defense in front of his hometown crowd. You know they're going to go wild when they start landing some good clean shots.
But round two, not a lot happening. But Marcus Browne, the busier fighter, certainly landed more shots here in the second round, and you'd have to think that's 2 rounds in the bank for the challenger.
Absolutely, Corey, but I also get the feeling
For the bell, man. Wait for the bell. Box.
Round 3 underway, and this isn't unusual territory for Artur Beterbiev, as we've referenced. You know, although he dropped Adam Dinas in the opening round, he didn't look great in the early going against Dinas. He looked a little sluggish. He didn't look great in the early going against Enrico Colin either. But Beterbiev typically, not typically, has always found his opening 100% of the time,
Don't punch it. Don't punch
as
it.
is evidenced by his record.
You can't do that every time.
But there are some who feel like Beterbiev has started to slip a little bit, like he might be on the back 9 of his career. And there's those people who think that Marcus Browne has a very real shot in this fight, and Browne is proving those people right in the early going. Shot there from Beterbiev. A couple signs of life from the champion here in the third round.
Good too, Marcus.
Browne, of course, a part of that 2012 U.S. Olympic team that is just absolutely stacked. 6 fighters from that team have won world titles. Jojo Diaz, Rashi Warren, Jose Ramirez, Errol Spence Jr., his stablemate, Clarissa Shields, and his other stablemate, Jamel Herring. Ramirez, Spence, and Shields have won unified titles. Every single fighter from that team, except for Queen Underwood, has at least fought for a world title as a professional, now that Marcus Browne has stepped in the ring here tonight. Just a terrific team was that 2012 squad.
that's a stacked Olympic boxing team.
Good shot there from Beterbiev. That's where Browne has to be careful.
There's a good right hand and followed up with another good left hook by Beterbiev.
Back up, back up, back up. Box.
In terms of numbers, Browne did the better work there. He had a good combination to the body, but it's exactly those sequences where he's found himself in trouble in the past.
He doesn't want to be leaning against some ropes against a guy like Beterbiev.
Beterbiev now starting to open up.
Beautiful right hand down there. But Browne throwing some heavy shots too, and probably in the backfire there.
Browne earning his respect.
Go home. Take him home. Because now you just focus on the knee because you don't want to get knocked out. Work the body and separate the head at the end. Good defense after. Very good.
Mark Namgully, former fighter, advising their man Beterbiev to forget the head and go to the body this round. We'll see if Beterbiev listens to his cornerman.
And more specifically, Scully just said, hey, remember how you didn't want to hit guys to the body, your sparring partners?
'Cause they were going home.
They're going home. Send this guy home.
No punches, no punches. Get up.
And sneaks through there from Beterbiev.
Get off his foot, man.
Couple quick punches by Marcus Browne up the middle there.
What's your point, Steve?
No punches, no punches, no
Browne
punches.
finding himself. Oh, that is a nasty gash right in the middle of the forehead of Beterbiev, and he is leaking all over the place.
We got unintentional clash of heads.
It doesn't matter if they're unintentional.
Both cut. Both cut.
And Browne
Both men are cut.
sporting a
It's an
cut
unintentional clash of heads.
over his right eye as well.
But let me tell you something. You get a head cut there, Corey. The head bleeds so
Yeah,
much
you-
more.
we're
It's
gonna
just
see.
look at it just squirt
I
out of
need a doctor
Beterbiev's
coming in.
head.
I need a doctor.
But Browne, the cut over his eye, is not gonna have an easier night.
Blood from the forehead of Beterbiev. Let's see if we can catch this clash of heads.
Right, don't punch it.
There
Stop
was
punching
he
on
was
the
slipping.
inside.
Well, we are back to action,
Listen to my
but-
command.
Both corners gonna have their work cut out from him in between rounds, Corey.
Russ Sandberg not in the corner of Artur Beterbiev here tonight. Unfortunately, tested positive for COVID. We send our best wishes
To Russ.
to Russ. This thing's getting a little messy here on the inside.
Both men may be sensing a little desperation with those cuts.
Don't punch. Don't punch.
And to Marcus Browne's credit, he's not letting Beterbiev bully him. He's definitely firing back when things are getting messy on the inside.
If he has any dreams of winning this fight, he cannot let Artur Beterbiev pull him around the box, bang him around.
Look at that. The doctor is not consulted, so we fight on. Round 6 underway. Definitely the best round, the most conclusive round of the fight for Artur Beterbiev.
Absolutely. Like we said earlier, sometimes it takes a little bit to get going. And now he's almost at full throttle here. By the end of that last round, I think get Marcus Browne a little shook with those overhand rights.
Right, go punch it. Go punch it. Let's go. Step back. Watch your head, guys.
Good left hook from Beterbiev. Freezes Browne along the ropes, who again is in exactly the
corner.
territory that Beterbiev wants.
After Beterbiev wants this fight to be, he'll be most effective in there when Marcus Browne traps in the corner. Marcus Browne was successful earlier. He was getting all the way around that ring. And so when he's backing himself in that corner, he can't go anywhere. And that is an easy night for Beterbiev.
Beterbiev just missed. Going to graze the top of the head of Marcus Browne. But to your point, Steve, where Browne was a second ago in the center of the ring, that's when he was having his best moments. When he's trying to counter off the ropes, he's almost banking on the ability to make Beterbiev miss 70% of the time and hurt him with his counters, which is a difficult game plan to enact.
Blood is flowing from Beterbiev's forehead.
A minute of round 6.
Oh, a beautiful 1-2 by Beterbiev.
He's behind it with a good left hook, and there's that right hand that he just wraps around the guard of Marcus Browne. You saw that shot a moment ago, that kind of hybrid scoop uppercut. That's the shot that Beterbiev's camp calls the Campillo. It's the shot that he knocked Gabriel Campillo out with, and when you hear them call that out, that is what they're asking Beterbiev to throw. leaps
Beautiful
in.
right hand.
Leaps in with a jab, comes behind it with a right hand, and Browne barely stays on his feet as this round comes to a close. Better physical strength of Beterbiev. Again, this is an amateur heavyweight. This is a guy who was boxing Alexander Usyk in the Olympics. This is a guy who, yeah, he makes 175, but he's not tall, so we don't think of him as a big light heavyweight. But he is a lot to deal with physically.
Absolutely. Yeah, 16. Both middleman shots. You gotta see it yourself. It seems like Beterbiev has so much more power and so much more strength behind his punches than Marcus Browne does.
Said you do have to hand it to Marcus Browne, who spent a lot more time in this and trying to move here in round 8. This ring here in the Bell Center. Griffin is just covered in blood.
But you
know that photo that goes viral every once in a while of that fight from the
Tony Weeks?
Well, that one, but the one from Vancouver from the early 1900s of the boxers covered in blood. And
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hold
it's
on.
starting to look like that. Round 9 begins. And again, Marcus Browne's credit. He's hurt. He's trying to make adjustments, but now he might really be hurt with Beterbiev all over him.
Oh,
and down he goes after a hard left uppercut.
4, 5, 6,
How much more can Marcus Browne take?
8, 9, 10.
No problem. Let's
He got it.
see if we can see it here. Was it a body shot? A headshot that got him.
Is the official
Took to the body.
It was a
Left
body
uppercut
shot,
right
delayed
under
reaction.
Okay. All right.
The liver shot did it. 17 knockouts. 2-4 of the light heavyweight division held by that man. Arthur, Beterbiev, and promoter Bob Michelle.